Okay. Good afternoon, Superintendent Ronnie Julien.
Afternoon, Commissioner.
Welcome to the Montagne Posée Commission of Inquiry. Our mandate is to find out, establish the truth regarding what happened at Montagne Posée prison on 5 and 6 December 2024, but also on other events that are connected to 5 and 6 December 2024. My name is Justice Alfred Mavedzege. I am the chairperson of the commission, and let me give the space to the commissioners to introduce themselves, and then we will take it from there.
I am Melchior Vidot.
I'm Victor.
Thank you, commissioners. On our extreme left is the secretary for the commission, Ms. Chelsea Albest, whom I'm going to ask to administer the oath, then we take your evidence.
Mr. Julian, are you a Christian or do you follow another denomination?
I'm Roman Catholic Christian.
If you can lift up your right hand and repeat after me. I swear
I swear
by Almighty God
by the Almighty God
that the evidence
that the evidence
I shall give
I shall give
to this
to this commission
commission shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, Mr. Julian. You may be seated.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary Chelsea Albest, and thank you, Superintendent Ronnie Julien. Yes. So just to remind you of a few rules that we remind every witness who appear before us to adhere to those rules throughout their testimony. One, please remember to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, as per your oath as well. And it is a criminal offense to withhold information that the commission is looking for or to disclose false information. Please answer all the questions that are asked by the commissioners and answer the question that has been asked. Avoid speculating what the question wants. Just answer the question that has been asked. And please, when you give your testimony, treat with respect every individual that you may name in your testimony. We also remind you to treat commissioners with respect. We also have a duty to treat you with respect. Now I remind also the people that are in the room to refrain from interrupting the proceedings. Make sure that your phone is either on complete silent mode or it is switched off. So that you do not interrupt what the witness is saying, and you don't interrupt the commissioners from hearing the evidence. Minimize, please, movements in and outside of the room. Of course, the security officers are allowed to move in and out at any time as they are doing their job. So what we're going to do, Superintendent Julien, is we are going to take turns to ask you questions. Perhaps you can start by confirming your current position. It's in the police service, right?
Yes, yes, Commissioner. Superintendent Ronnie Julien. Currently the commanding officer of Criminal Investigation Department, which is CID.
Okay. So as the commanding officer for the CID, you are the person in charge of that division of the police?
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. All right. And what does your job on a day-to-day basis involve?
It involves different aspects, but broad line is about crimes, dealing with crimes, criminal offenses, and also gathering intelligence.
Intelligence to do with crime?
Crimes, yes.
Okay.
National crimes.
And you have been in this position since when?
Since 2022 or 2023.
So it's since 22 or 2023.
Yes.
And how long have you been in the police service?
23 years.
23 years.
Yes.
Okay. So at the time, that's 6 December 2024, you were already a superintendent.
A superintendent
In
and
charge
an
of the
officer
CID.
in CID, yes.
Okay. And who do you report to?
My immediate supervisor was Chief Superintendent Posée, who is now the DCP Posée.
Okay. Okay. So that's where you report, and then
Yes.
he reports to.
To the commissioner. No, to ACP Weeds, who had just been promoted to DCP now also.
Okay.
So the line of command was CSP Posée, ACP Weeds, then commissioner.
And as part of your intelligence gathering, you conduct research, investigations,
Yes.
but do you also conduct investigations after a crime has been committed?
It depends, Commissioner. It depends if there are any new information that has come to light. We will investigate and bring the truth forward.
So, and when you generate a report, some reports are confidential,
Yes.
but are there other reports that are not confidential?
All reports should be treated with confidentiality,
Okay.
especially regarding intelligence.
Okay.
But general reports, like reports for cases, it is made available to the all senior level of a police officer, police force.
But when there's death, let's say someone has died, and
Died.
you are investigating, that death, do you also have a way of keeping the families of the deceased informed on your investigations?
Yes, Commissioner. The main communication came through like meetings. The IU, the investigating officer, the person who has been in charge of the case, regularly meet with the relatives, the families, or affected parties to brief them how far we have reached in regards in our investigations.
When they are, do you also have jurisdiction or the authority to investigate criminal conduct by members of the defense forces?
We do, yes. But we can gather evidence against them, caution them, have formal statement taken from them. But for the cases to be brought to court, we have to seek sanctions from the SDF.
From the SDF.
Yes.
But for purposes of investigation, you can
go.
just
You
go
can do
ahead.
it.
And
Yes.
You don't need permission.
No, we don't need permission, sir.
Okay. In your work as superintendent, overseeing the CID division of the police, have you ever dealt with reports of crime or allegations of criminal conduct against members of the SDF?
Yes, several times.
So can you explain to us, you don't have to name the individual,
Yes.
but explain to us the process, the procedure for dealing with such a complaint or an allegation?
Okay, definitely must be a formal report made at police stations. Henceforth, we collect the diaries of action from that station and gather the relevant statement in regards to that report made. First and foremost, we need to ensure that there are prima facie case against that person involved. Beforehand, that we seek to have him brought to be cautioned in regards to that case. So This is the way we deal with it.
That's the process. Okay, and in doing that work, or in conducting those kind of investigations which involve a member or members of the SDF, do you experience any challenges, or have you ever experienced any challenges?
Not to my knowledge. No, not to my knowledge.
Do you always are the witnesses or the suspects always cooperating with you?
At times, witnesses don't want to come forth. I remember a case that we are still investigating. The wife of the deceased, she's scared to come forth to give evidence in regards to allegations of assaults made by certain army officers.
So there's a challenge with witnesses.
Yes.
Who are not members of the SDF.
Yes, Your Commissioner.
Being uncooperative because they are afraid.
Not uncooperative, but afraid.
Okay, they are afraid.
Afraid, yes.
But do you also have challenges, or have you ever also experienced challenges where members of the SDF are refusing to cooperate with your investigation?
Nothing so far, no.
Okay.
Not so far.
If that was to happen, what do you do?
No, like I stated before, we have to get ample evidence against that officer. We will put before him or her, say that we have enough against you. We don't need your testimony. You don't need we can charge you before court, or have you charged before your court martial within the SDF. This is the way forward.
But what about a situation where you do not necessarily have what appears to be a solid case, but you know for sure that this person, who happens to be a member of the SDF, has been implicated or named as a suspect, and you need a statement from them, and they refuse to give you the statement? What do you do? I'm putting it as a hypothetical question, because your answer earlier on was you never had such cases.
I understand where you come, but from the time now until today, we haven't received such issue.
Okay.
We haven't never received such issue.
But obviously, as a senior police officer, you are also forward-looking. So if that happens, what do you do? We have
different ways and means, which can imply, but I won't say it here on camera. We can seek also from his higher authority there to put, because we send the file to his seniors also at the SDF.
I guess what I'm trying to probe is whether not your tactics, but whether there is a formal procedure that is in place to liaise with the SDF if any of their members is alleged to have, or is suspected to have committed a crime, and they are not cooperating with you. Is there any laid down procedure or protocol?
No, we don't have. We don't have anything in
So
writing. We don't have anything in writing.
Okay. So the assumption is that the police should be able to do their job.
Yes.
And there is no protocol that addresses the possibility that the police may be prevented from doing their job.
No, there's nothing. But as per CPC, the Criminal Procedure Code, we are entitled to investigate any criminal report made to the police. So this covers us, the aspect of investigation.
Yes, it does. But the law requires certain mechanical details to be laid down.
There are nothing in writing. But it's as per the CPC that gives us our powers, and Police Force Act, which directs us, the police, how to go about
Yeah.
in our duties.
Let's go back to, and please don't reveal the names.
Yes.
Let's go back to the example that you gave earlier on, that
Yes.
the police, in this case the CID, are investigating a criminal case, and one of the witnesses, not necessarily a suspect but a witness,
Yes.
is afraid of
She's afraid.
coming forward, and they are afraid because they fear retribution from one or two soldiers. How are you then supposed to? And I don't want to. I'm not asking you about tactics, right? I'm asking you about the framework, the policy and legal framework. What help does it? What recourse do you have?
We until now we have tried everything, Mr. Commissioner. Everything in regards to getting that person to cooperate, to have her bring forth, reassure her that she'll be protected, because her evidence is paramount in that case. Because maybe that the husband, before he passed away, must have revealed something to her in regards to the incident which occurred. And we even have our people in house which we use to try to calm her down.
But it's not.
It's to no avail. It's to no avail so far.
avail.
To no avail so far.
So, do you think that there is a need for an established protocol that you, as the police, when you find yourself in such cases, you can get some help from the Defense Forces management itself?
No, Commissioner, you are telling me two things. You are telling me non-cooperative witnesses and soldiers, which is non-cooperative. Which one is which? You're telling me.
I'm talking about about the witness who is not cooperating, who is not a member of SDF. But
Yes.
the reason they are not cooperating is they are afraid that they would get victimized by one or two members of SDF.
But the law provides protection for such people.
Okay.
Even it had been explained to her
Okay.
or to that person, still she refused.
So on that one, you don't think there is any need for any established protocol?
It is there within the law.
Okay. What does the witness protection provision say in that case?
I won't recall every word by
Yeah,
word, but it gives protections to any people who has credible information regarding a criminal matter that came forth, who can testify either as a witness or a whistleblower. It can be receive protections from the state.
So the state can take measures to protect the
Protect that
witness.
person, yes.
Yeah. And don't you think that would probably also include raising the witness security fears with the leadership of the SDF and say the witness is concerned that they may be victimized by one or two of your members?
It should not be happening. It should not be the case, in fact.
I agree. It should not be the case, but we are trying to say, but it is the case now. So we are trying to say, I guess the point I'm trying to make, and you may agree or not, and it's perfectly fine, is that liaising
Yes.
between the police and the SDF.
SDF, yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps at a middle level, at a leadership level, is part of protecting a witness in this case.
It could be. It could
Yeah.
be.
Okay. So you are CID, so the other type of investigation that you mentioned is where you collect intelligence
Intelligence.
related to crimes,
Yeah.
but sometimes not necessarily because a crime has been committed.
Committee.
You are collecting intelligence which might show that there's a possibility that these types of crimes might become prevalent in the
Prevalent, yeah.
future.
Yes.
So something like, let's say, hacking computer systems and so forth. You can do something. You can do some investigation, and provide a report that says, going forward, we might begin to see these types of crimes.
Yeah, cybercrime increase, yeah.
Cyber crimes
Yeah.
increasing. Okay. So when there is you would investigate the possibility of riots. Is that one of the things that you would do?
Yes. In fact, in regards to that matter, beforehand, before the commissioners, I was detailed to send a team there to Montagne Posée to investigate the riot of the 5th and the 6th December 2024.
Yeah. So hold on to that one. But before the 5th and the 6th of December, did you conduct any investigation, or did you come across any intelligence suggesting that you might have riotous behavior, you might have disturbances
Yes.
in prisons?
Yes. In fact, it started at Badeau's women facility.
When was that?
I won't recall the date, Mr. Commissioner.
But the year you can.
But it was the same year as the riot. It was the remandees there. They created havoc there, fighting and beating the prison warden, and police has to intervene to subdue the riots. And in fact, it was calmed down within hours. But certain remandees was injured during the process also.
Okay. So your answer.
I was going to suggest to you that was sometime in July or August. Am I correct?
It might be. I won't recall the specific date and month, but it was the same year. I know it was the same year, 2024.
Thank you. I was hoping you would continue to ask questions so that I can stabilize. It's okay. That's fine. It's okay. I'm back. I'm back. It's okay. Thank you. So you had some intel
Yes.
suggesting that
Something big
might happen.
yes.
Okay. So when you have those kind of, when you get that kind of intelligence, who do you share that, or who did you share that intelligence with? In this case, about prisons.
I know a report was made in regards to that effect. Based on the incident of Badeau's, it was sent to our immediate supervisors. But I don't know specifics about who received that report. But it must be the line of command. I was telling you before, CSP Bousin, Weeds, and Compol.
So they have it.
Yes.
Okay. And would we be correct to assume that when the CID has intelligence which suggests that there might be some rioters, some disturbance that might happen in prison, that information will be shared with the prison authorities?
It must be shared, yes. But our line of command, we go through our line of command, and they are the ones to channel the information to CP, to minister, to whoever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Do you also investigate crimes that happen inside prisons?
Yes.
So what are some of the types of crimes that you have dealt with that happen inside prison?
It varies from assaults to murders. Yeah, because there are murders also which are occurred inside the prison, which we also investigate. And assault between inmates or assault between prison inmates towards prison officers.
So you mentioned murder.
Yes.
As one of. Have you ever investigated a murder that took place in one of the prisons?
Yes.
Which prison?
Here, Montagne Posée.
Okay. When was that?
I won't recall the date. But it is there on record.
Way,
you can
but
find
way
out.
before 2024.
Yes, way.
Okay. So, so it wouldn't be any of the murders that happened.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
No.
That's what I wanted to establish. So, can you try and just describe for us the kind of protocols that you, or procedures that you engage in order to gather evidence where a murder or let's say a person has died or has been killed inside prison? What do you do?
From the line of question that you're asking, you're asking about the crime scene. If there's a crime scene, definitely it must be preserved for it to be analyzed to see if there are any potential evidence to be gathered on the scene that can be used for investigation. So the prison is something else. Frankly telling you, prison is something else. If you expect to have a crime scene to work with, it's not the case. It's not the case.
Why is it like that?
It's the way the prison was built and the populations in prison.
Why
And
would
the amount of officers that they have to control the inmates there, it's unbelievable.
Why would it matter? Because you need to have forensics. Obviously, if you come in, okay, you have a scene. I'm sure you can. You are able to get the people out, and you preserve that scene. I don't understand what you're saying. I cannot agree with you saying that prison is a different situation, because a crime scene is a crime scene.
Yes. But preserving the crime scene, it depends on the amount of workforce that you have. And how do you preserve the crime scene? I don't know if you understand me.
No, but like if you get all, okay, you're talking prison now.
Yes.
If you get all the inmates out, you still
Yes.
have a crime scene.
Yes.
Okay? You have somebody who's died there. The person is on the floor. Okay? You've taken out all the prisoners out.
Yeah.
Now you have a crime scene.
Yes.
And you have to preserve that scene.
For this case, which is beforehand, to my knowledge, things was different. Even though they said that prisoners were...
Maybe we are not yet talking about that one.
Okay.
We are just talking about your procedures as the CID. That if, because you said you investigated murder in
Murders, yes.
prison. So my question was, what would be the procedures for evidence gathering? And then you correctly said you are talking about, the crime scene.
The crime scene, yeah.
Then you said prison is a different thing.
Different,
it's difficult.
yes.
And he is saying, but the law is the law, right? You have to make sure that where a crime has been committed, nobody should tamper with evidence. Right?
Yeah.
That is the expectation, and I think his point, which I agree with, by the way, is we cannot depart from that rule just because the crime has taken place in a prison. Otherwise, we are also sending a communication out there that a prison is a place where you are not protected. If you die, don't expect the law to protect you.
The law is there to protect every individual.
Yeah.
But
crimes.
the time, I don't know how it is now. But before that, who was controlling the key of the prison? It was not the prison warden. I don't know if you don't know that. It was the prisoner himself who have access to the keys to control every gate,
Yeah. Can we go to the case that you mentioned, where you said you investigated murder there?
Yes.
Right. How did you deal with the crime scene? Because that's what I wanted you to talk us through.
I won't recall every aspect because I did not went on the scene myself. There must be an IO and that officers from SS and CRB who went on the scene. But I won't recall every aspect that happened. I know there were footage extracted from the CCTV there, but I won't recall in every aspect. When we get to that case.
You had a question? Oh.
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
So now, but would you clarify for us? And I'm asking this question because there's been a back and forth. So we just want to make sure we are moving together with the same understanding. Would you clarify to us whether in a prison there is a requirement to preserve the crime scene?
Definitely it is.
And make sure that
Definitely it is.
evidence is not tampered with.
Definitely it is, Commissioner.
Okay, and as CID, you need that.
See, every officer that attends the scene needs to know that.
And inside prison,
Yes.
Prisoners are taken care of by prison guards.
Yes.
So if someone was to be killed inside the prison, you expect to receive the report from one of the guards. Is that correct? I mean, the report can come from anyone.
Anyway, yes.
But you if others can't, I'm saying so because prisoners ordinarily don't have phones, right? Ordinarily, they don't have phones.
We don't have phones.
Do they have phones? No, I'm saying ordinarily.
You must have only evidence how many phones was extracted from the prison.
Now that's not ordinary. Right?
Yeah.
That's a misnomer.
A misnomer,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of the law, the custody of prisoners is with the prison guards.
Prison authority.
So those are the ones that are naturally expected to report
Yes.
when when a person has been killed, a prisoner has been killed inside. And therefore, those are the so the prison authorities are expected to preserve the crime scene,
The crime scene,
until
sir.
you arrive.
Until the police arrives, yes.
Okay.
To hand over the crime scene.
Then, okay, so you have confirmed the next question I wanted to ask, which is, so after the CID have arrived on the scene, then the prison authorities hand over.
Hand over the crime scene, yes.
Then you do your work.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so that's the procedure.
Procedures, yeah.
Okay. You have
And every police officer is instructed as to how you need to preserve a crime scene.
Yes,
You don't have
definitely.
to be within the CID.
No. Every person, you are trained. This is your within a mandate. When you went to the academy, you know how to preserve a crime scene in every aspect of a crime scene, from proper records, noting, taking notes, and everything.
If as a just asking a question, actually writing on your answer, if a police officer sees that someone has been killed, does that police officer have a duty to stop anyone from interfering with the crime scene?
Definitely.
Okay.
The first aspect is, I don't know. He cannot define somebody that's died or not.
Yeah.
His first duty is to save life. So he has to
Okay.
to ensure that he take all needs to ensure that this person remains alive.
Okay.
But if when he reached there, that person has been declared dead, either by a medical practitioner or somebody, and he has to ensure that the body is not touched until the necessary officers came to deal with that body.
So just so that we understand the process. So the process is a police. That's assuming that there's a police officer on site.
Yes.
They see that this person, they suspect that this person has been killed. So the first thing is to establish if indeed this person has been killed.
Yes.
So that would involve calling for medical
Yes.
to come and examine.
Yes.
The
Yes.
medical people come, they tell him or her that this person
There's no sign of life.
has died. The next thing is that the police
Everybody
must preserve
the scene. Yeah.
the scene, even as they wait for the CID to come.
The doctor, we have our own doctor nowadays. The doctor, the photographers, the CID has to be on scene.
Okay. Are there any exceptions to this? By exceptions, I mean, are there any, in terms of your policy, your protocols as CID, are there any instances where you say to your members, look, you can depart from this?
No.
It's a strict requirement.
It's strict requirement, sir.
There are no circumstances under which you can leave the crime scene being tampered with.
Each case has its own merit, I can say.
Yeah.
It depends. If there's a need to remove that body due to certain situations, like there's a fire, there's anything, but you need to note and everything, the time, place, and everything, how the body was. It has to be noted before removing it.
In which case, if there's a fire, they are actually preserving part of the crime scene when they remove the body.
The body, yeah.
So they are still executing their duties.
Their duties, yes.
Yeah. But I think what you are also saying is, under no circumstances can police officers take part in, interfering with the crime scene, except when maybe there are some serious emergencies.
Emergencies, yes.
That are taking place.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe some guns being fired, which prevent them from securing the. I'm thinking of the West. Okay, let's go back to the crimes that the other crimes that you investigate, which take place in prison. Do you also investigate cases of contraband?
Yes.
Okay.
We have cases.
Take us back to 2024, 2023, or 2022 when you became superintendent. 2022, 2023, into 2024. Did this country have a serious problem of contraband in prisons?
Not only this time, not only from what you are saying, is only the specific years, but it is not the specific year. It has always been a case of contraband entering prison.
Okay.
It is how their process is of dealing with that matter.
So it's something that everyone acknowledges in the security sector, that there was a problem.
Yes, there was a problem.
And did you issue any intelligence report?
No.
To that effect? Okay. So how did they know?
When they do searches inside the prison, the amount of things that were removed, from mobile phones to gadgets like laptops, tablets.
Was there any initiative from the CID, particularly this time that we're inquiring? Was there any initiative from the CID to investigate why such contraband was being brought in and how it was being brought into the prison? It was on your version, but also even on the version of others who came before us. They said, there has been a problem with contraband.
Yeah.
So was there any initiative from the CID to...
Definitely, all gadgets, electronic gadgets that are seized, goes through a process. Where it is sent to the labs for analysis to know which mobile phones are linking from inside and outside the prison and to whom they are communicating. So some work is done on that basis also.
So is your answer yes, there was an initiative
yes.
to come up with a report on how contraband was finding itself into the prison? Is that the answer? So
contraband has so many. There are so many ways of getting inside the prison, from prison warden itself to prisoner itself when they go out to come to court, to go to medical checkup. Anybody can sneak in sneaking something inside the prison.
I hear you, but my question is, considering that you are agreeing that this was a a serious problem, was there any investigation done by the CID to generate intelligence on how and why this was a serious problem? I'm not asking a question about whether you investigated each case. No, but generally to say we seem to have a problem with different types of contraband getting inside prison. Let's do an investigation into where the loopholes are.
No, we haven't done it.
Okay.
We have not done it.
But was there any discussion though about
Yes,
that?
discussions, yes.
Okay.
But not a lengthy investigation.
Okay. Okay. Would you know, if you don't know, it's fine. Would you know why, or maybe before I ask you that question, who takes the decision to initiate an investigation of such a nature? I'm not talking of an investigation of a crime, because a crime you are assigned. But I'm talking of gathering intelligence, on, for example, in this case, why there is a lot of contraband coming in, or investigation into the possibility of a riot or disturbance. Who takes that decision to say, let's do this investigation?
There are no specific individuals, I can say, is responsible. But me as the commanding officer, we try our utmost to cover the aspect of getting the intel of how the contraband get in and who is responsible behind it.
Okay. Perhaps as part of this investigation you did on possibility of riotous behavior, disturbances in prisons, did you also make recommendations on how that could be mitigated?
No, we don't.
So there was a finding which says there's a possibility that this country might experience some riot or riots in prisons.
Yes, based on the intel gathered, yes.
But there was no recommendation on what to do. Okay. But is that how the system works? That you can say there's a problem?
Commissioner, there's no defined SOP in place that everything that you get must be in black and white. No. In words, I can communicate it to you. Sending a text, I can communicate it with you. In writing, I can communicate with you. So there's no SOP in place. When you receive such intel, you must have it typed and send it through that channel. No.
Except that there's no SOP, there might not be an SOP for that. But let me give you another example so that maybe we can understand each other. If you receive intel that there is likely to be a consignment of narcotics and drugs that is likely to be arriving through the airport. You then recommend measures.
Yes.
Right, which may or may not include things like stationing some officers in certain positions around the airport in anticipation.
Monitoring the passengers.
Monitoring. Right.
Yeah.
So those are the recommendations that I'm talking about.
Yes, we do.
So if you were to establish that there's a possibility that we might have riotous behavior or disturbances in the prison, there would be some contingent measures.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, intelligence sharing, we do that.
Yes. So were these measures suggested?
Yes.
Okay, what were some of these measures that were suggested?
To intensify security and monitoring at the prison.
Intensify security and monitoring.
Monitoring, yeah.
What would monitoring in this case involve?
Because for a riot to start, it will involve the whole prison. It is certain individuals qui gagnent fait ou bien gagnent dit pour dire nous là qui a fait, qui a dit pour créer sa riot de prison.
Things that are being done. C'est mon premier mélange, ou quasi bien c'est en créole.
Ok.
À cause du mélange anglais créole.
Ok, pour un riot arrivé de prison, il n'est pas prison entier qui involve. Il y a certains groupes de monde qui initient ça.
For a riot to happen in prison, it's not the whole prison, it's only a group of people that initiates the riot.
So it's sort of profiling and monitoring certain
Yes.
individuals. What about making sure that there is enough technology to monitor what is happening inside the prison?
I cannot comment on that because this is a whole aspect of prison authorities has its own budget, its own thing. So it's depending on them to deal with that.
But I think it's still within your mandate insofar as recommending is concerned. So you can say we have done an investigation and our view is that you are sitting on a time bomb. There's likely to be a riot here. And we recommend that you implement the following measures. So,
Once we share the information, it's depending on them what aspect.
yeah, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, did you share that information?
Yes, we did.
Including some recommendations on
No. But sharing intel, yes.
sharing intel you did.
Yes.
But this recommendation on
Yes.
cameras and other technologies. you
No,
did.
not cameras and technology, but sharing intel regarding riot.
Okay.
There's a possibility of riot
Okay.
in the prison.
No, that's fine. I think I will end there for now. You can take over, Commissioner.
Just going back, you said that you've done investigation in prison. You've done investigation
Yes.
in respect of inmates fighting one another.
Yes.
You've done investigation in regards to inmates fighting the guards.
Guards, yes.
And have you ever done investigations of guards attacking inmates?
Assaulting inmates,
Because it has happened.
not to my knowledge.
We've never done that.
No, never, not to my knowledge.
Okay. And just going back again on the procedure, like if you have a situation where you've allocated an investigating officer to conduct investigation into a crime,
Yeah.
and there are military officers involved, will your investigating officer, irrespective of the rank,
Right.
would he be able to go to CDF and say, I want to interview some of your officers who are involved, or for them to give statements?
No, definitely not go directly to CDF.
Okay.
We have our line of command, so we go to our line of command. There's a report which is provided and a letter sent to our line of command seeking that we need such and such officers for them to be interviewed or interrogated.
Okay. And let's go to the early December 2024. Did you or the CID recommend or that an investigation be done in respect of any particular person at the prison?
Come again, Mr.
Okay,
Councillor?
early December 2024.
2024, yeah.
Okay. Was there any request from you that an investigation be done in respect of any particular person at the prison?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Okay. So, from that answer that you've given me, therefore, there was no request that there is an investigation done on Mr. Modo, Stefan Modo.
No, not to my knowledge. Stephen Modo, I'm aware of it after the riot has happened, when investigation started. That I'm aware that riot occurred because of Mr. Modo.
Okay. So there was no request from the CID to remove Mr. Modo from the mail block because the police needed to interview him.
Not coming from my side.
Okay.
Not coming from my side.
Okay. And considering that Mr. Modo that happened on the 5th,
Yeah.
considering that Mr. Mordo had, they had brought Mr. Mordo down at the court on the 2nd, on the 2nd of December. If you wanted to interview Mr. Mordo for whatever reason, or would it have been prudent for the officer, if ever they needed to interview Mr. Mordo, to ask that once Mr. Mordo leaves the court, he came in here in the morning, then you take him to CID office.
CID but it was,
Yeah.
But like I've stated, Mr. Commissioner, Stephen Mordo was not our client. He was not ever in our purview.
Okay.
And if ever he be needed by the CID, there are two ways of us communicating. Either we send a mail to the prison authority saying that we need such inmates or remanded to have them escorted to Badios or whatever stations we needed, or officers go to prison to meet that inmate or that remanded to have it interviewed or questions.
And to tell you something, I do agree with you. I don't believe there was a request from CID to see Mr. Mordo, because after the incident at the prison, the CP of the prison gave an interview, never mentioned that Mr. Mordo was needed by the CID. So therefore, if that is what has been recounted here by many officers, that Mr. Mordo was needed by the CID, that would not be true.
No, it depends. In 2024, if I can put on the table, there were a special team, like a special tax team, like a task force team put together by Compol. It was officers based from CID priority and officers from OCU, from drugs. And their mandate was to investigate cases of human trafficking and drugs. Because it all started with our two Sheshelwa that were brought back from Iran, which I gave the intel, and they were able to come back. And henceforth, it develops in other cases that came to light, and it was investigated by that special team.
Okay. If Mr. Mordo was actually needed, on the 2nd, the 5th, the 6th of December, even the 7th, and 20 days thereafter, the CID never came to see Mr. Mordo, would you agree with me there is a problem there?
I've heard about it, but it is very strange for somebody to spend 20 days isolated without being interviewed or questioned by CID. It should not be the case.
So the probability is actually that Mr. Mordo was never needed by anybody from the CID, because if that was the case, have 20 days, and then even thereafter, Mr. Mordo was never interviewed by the CID. Never.
I want, but from my side, he was not needed. Maybe somebody else who was involved in that special tax team, they can testify to that court, to that commission, if ever he was wanted, for which case.
So this other special division, special task force division of the CID, did not report to you?
No, not at all.
Okay. Who did they report to?
There are two persons. It is now DCP Posée, who has been promoted, and ex-commissioner Ted Babi. They were the two individuals that the special tax team responded to.
And you would not be consulted in any way?
No, nothing. I was just made aware of, like any individual, like any passerby, like they are investigating such case, people have been arrested, brought to court, remanded.
So you have the regular CID and a parallel unit still doing the work CID, over which you have no knowledge.
No purview, no. No. Yeah.
And even their investigation, whatever, you are not aware of.
There are no briefing, nothing at all.
And cases are brought to court. It's not from your
No.
dep-
It is done separately without my knowledge and everything.
And you've had how many years in the police?
23 years.
Have you ever seen such a situation?
It can happen.
No, I've asked you.
It has happened, yes. It has happened. A special task force team put together for specific cases, work on it on a period of time, then they disband and each of officers go to back their unit.
That would be if there is a specific case.
Specific case, yes.
But it would not be a permanent.
Yes. But this one was permanent.
Yeah?
This one was a permanent.
Yeah, this one was a permanent one. And you would agree with me that this is not a normal thing to happen.
It disrupts the whole aspect of chain of command.
And in a way, you were being undermined by.
Definitely, that's why I say it's disrupt the whole chain of command.
And the fact that you were being undermined, did you ever voice that concern to anyone? Like to the, you say you report to Mr. Bouzin.
To whom you going to?
No, you said you report to Mr. Bouzin, and you just said that these officers reported to Mr. Bouzin, is accountable to Mr. Bouzin. Why did you go forward and say, Mr. Bouzin or the Commissioner of Police, we have a situation here where we have the regular CID and we have a parallel CID over which
No.
I have no oversight at all.
At that time, it was better you remain silent.
Pardon?
At that time, it was better you remain silent and continue with your work because there was so much happening at that time. Also, we were busy dealing with.
So, can you explain what you mean?
Each has been tasked their own work and duties, their own responsibilities. So if they have been given the responsibility to assign such duties, it's better just leave these people alone and let them work. Though you find it that it is not correct, it is not appropriate that as a head or as a commander you are not being involved, you just let it be.
But you Mr. Julien, you are failing your position as head of CID. Because if you have a parallel...
I know, right, Mr.
No, wait for me. If you have a parallel unit doing CID work and you cannot say anything, we have a serious problem.
I know, right, at that point of time, it's better you leave it this way.
Maybe I can try and help. Do you, when you say at that point, it is better you leave it this way.
Yes.
Do you mean that you had learned that if you complain, you could be victimized?
Exactly.
Okay. And who would victimize you?
I've sworn to testify before this commission, and I also signed Secrecy Act within the police force. So I think it's better for me to say it off mic, off camera.
I think that is fair. The secretary will take note of that. Then I guess my other follow-up point was to try and get you to confirm whether we see things the same way on this particular issue. That if you have, I mean, it's probably normal to have special task forces that are dealing with specialized crimes.
Crimes, yeah.
But they still need to be accountable so that you don't create situations where the very same units that you have created could jeopardize national security.
Definitely.
So
the line of command was given to them. It was to CSP and compound.
But the problem now, and that's what I want to see if we agree with you, is that you were not looking for Stephen Modo.
No.
As the CID.
Not at all.
Stephen Modo was told that the CID are looking for you.
Yes, it was. I can say Posée, CID, because they were operating as a special CID team. Everywhere you go, you hear them. The special CID team has operate. Special CID team has request search. And I received
and this CID never came. Maybe just work with me a bit. You wouldn't know this, maybe.
I don't know.
Right, which is another problem. So the CID never came, according to Stephen Modo.
Yeah. That's
He spent 20 days in prison and was
in prison happened.
Yeah, it was. No, I'm not yet there to the right. I'm just talking about an individual's rights. So he spent 20 days in isolation cell, eventually let go, and there's no one to account for what looks like arbitrary detention. Right. So the problem here is emanating from the fact that you have it's a shadowy special unit as long as it's not reporting to you.
Definitely it is.
Right? Because if it is reporting to you, then you would be able to account.
I'll be aware today that, yes, Stephen Modo was wanted for whatever cases he was wanted.
Yeah.
I'll be made aware and I can testify before this commission today. But I was not made aware.
Now, before I put this point to you, actually, just to check with the secretary and the commission, is it my correct? Am I correct here that the police commissioner himself says he was not aware of this? Yeah. So the police commissioner himself, the former police commissioner himself, said he was not aware that
he's aware.
Stephen Modo was no. I'm not saying he was not aware of the special ops team, but he was not aware that that Stephen Modo was was being sought by the CID. So do you see the difficulty now? And I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm saying let us confront the problem as it is, right? That you have.
But it's strange if he is not aware, because the guys working was working under his command, so he must have been made aware for whatever Stephen Modo was needed for.
So if I were in, which we are, because we are investigating this, so if I were in Stephen Modo's situation now, and I want justice on this issue, who do I go to? Because if I come to you as the head of the CID, you will tell me that, no, look, I was not responsible for that. Well, I was
justice in which matter, your commissioner?
Arbitrary detention for 20 days.
Was he within the prison facility?
Yes.
Okay. Is this against prison protocol?
So when you are in prison, you are required to stay in your cell, not in the isolation cell.
Why was this isolation cell built in the first place?
Well, let's.
No. We are. There's a matter that says Stephen Modo was in the isolation cell for 20 days. So
I will allow it for now.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be asking the question why was.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go to the law. And what the law says.
If he's right, this individuals have been affected.
No, you asked the question, so let me answer. Okay. Right. The isolation cell is a place where prisoners are locked up for disciplinary purposes, not for custody. Yeah. It's like at your house. You have a place where maybe you ask your children to go and sit. They don't stay there every day.
No.
But you ask them to sit in a corner. The difference now is, one, prisoners are not children, but number two, the isolation cell is a very hard place to be in. Have you ever been inside?
No.
You've never visited the isolation cell?
In prison?
Yeah.
No, never.
Okay, so maybe I understand why you are asking that question.
Never.
It's not an ordinary cell.
That means his rights was affected. So he can seek recourse. He can seek recourse.
So can we go back to my question now?
Yes.
And maybe you can now appreciate why I'm asking this question. That if a person has been detained in such a place for 20 days,
It should not be the case.
we agree.
Yes.
But
it
now
should-
it's about seeking justice. So they come to you as the head of CID, and he says, I've been detained for 20 days in this place on account that I was waiting for the CID to come and interview me, and they never came.
Mhm.
Then you say to him, no, we were not, my CID
Did
men
not-
and women were not looking for you.
For you, yes.
But perhaps the other special ops group was looking for you. Then he asks you, so who is the officer in charge of the special ops group of CID? Then you say, go to the police commissioner. Then he goes to the police commissioner. The police commissioner says, I'm not aware of this. Can you check with the superintendent Ronnie?
President.
Right. Would that be justice?
No, it's not
Do
business.
you see the problem?
Yes.
That is actually what is happening right now. Because we have asked the former police commissioner. He said no, he does not know about anyone, whether in the special ops or in the main pool of CIDs looking for Stephen Moto. Perhaps at an operational level, my CID managers might know. We called you, you don't know. I think the one we investigated, Jim Rowe,
Yes.
Janvo doesn't know.
He works with me.
Yeah. So we now have a situation when
But I will tell this
A
commission
citizen
off camera.
was
I will tell
detained.
this commission off camera that commissioner was well aware of what was happening.
okay, he was well aware.
Yes.
So you're going to tell us off camera when you've already told us now?
You may as well just tell
No,
us.
the whole situation that happened.
Oh, the whole situation.
That in regards to Stephen Moto, yeah.
But why is it, well, because of the reason that you gave earlier on about secrecy? And,
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I think that is I take that. I don't know who I took away from. Was it? Vic?
It was from me, but
Okay.
he can
Please
go.
go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify this part of the isolation cell, if I may.
Sure.
The isolation cell in the document states, and it was put in the Prisons Act so many years ago, with the purpose of when Seychelles used to kill, when Seychelles government or the law used to kill prisoners.
Or the law
That sentences.
prisoners to be killed.
Capital punishment? you mean?
Capital
Yes.
Capital punishment.
So this is the cell where people were put.
Segregated before the capital
Yes.
punishment.
So they were there where they could not see anybody. They would see this was called the isolation cell. They were isolated from everybody.
Yes.
So this was the thing. Okay, Superintendent. Anyway, I was going to ask you, but then Commissioner Vidot touched it. When you said the orders was not coming from my side, you said this.
Yes.
It was coming from another side.
Understood, yes.
So I think you've clarified what the other side was.
Yes.
Now, if this other team was put in service, yeah, this other team was established and put in service. I'm a bit sort of preoccupied with this. Does that mean that your team was deemed as unprofessional? You couldn't do your job?
No, not that.
You know, they had to put better people than your people to do?
Not at all, because they were assigned with specific tasks and duties.
Okay. Now, when you say specific tasks and duties, would that lead to certain conspiracy as well, whereby your team wouldn't know what was going on?
We are not made aware, yes. Information was confined within the smaller groups, like I said,
Yeah.
within.
Good. Yeah, it's
Our
okay, I
ex-member.
understand, but don't
Yes.
you think it could lead to conspiracies and things that would would not be normal in a happening?
I cannot testify on that basis.
Okay. Now, you as superintendent of the CID, yeah, you've got a way of defining contrabands.
Yes.
Yeah? Contrabands, they would be any objects that were deemed not to be inside the prison,
Inside prison.
and they found themselves into the prison. They found themselves into the prison setting.
Yes.
Okay. And you said two things. You said that it could be that the wardens were carrying things inside the prison, or other people were
Possibility, I say possibility of warden, possibility of prison officers, prisoners of when they go out to court or to medical checkups, they bring back the.
Okay, but they were supposed to be checked and rechecked before they get into the prison.
Yes, suppose, yes.
Now, don't you think that there were legitimate contrabands as well coming inside the prison, under the pretext of rehabilitation?
I want to know that one.
I would not be able to say anything on that.
Because why I'm saying this is, we understand that there were fridges, there were hot plates to cook food. You said that there were tablets and computers and whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah?
I've seen it after the search. Yeah.
Okay. So and we even got information that there was a prison officer, high prison officer, who deliberately gave a telephone to an inmate so that this inmate could provide information to him.
I've heard it on that commission,
but that's contraband to its
legitimacy.
So you are fighting a very weak battle to be able to deal with contrabands.
There are different tactics applied within the security. So if somebody have decided it is good for him or her to know what is going on inside the cell, he or she decides it.
This is why we train people, Superintendent. We train people to use their brains. We don't train people to be as well participating in supplying contrabands in the prison.
It depends on whoever.
Okay. I think I'll stop at this time.
Okay, going back to the fact that there was another CID unit, and they did not report to you, and you don't know what was happening. You as head don't know anything that's happening. Would you not, and I would you not interpret that as a lack of trust in you?
Definitely it is, Commissioner.
Okay. And
not only lack of trust, but undermining my authority. You put me in a position, then somebody else, lower rank officers, you see them.
Yeah. And saying that there was a lack of trust in you. How did you feel about that? What was your sentiment about the fact that you are doing a job, that department, you are the head of that department, but you don't know of the unit of lower ranked officers, what they are doing. What was your sentiment about it?
We just move on. No hard feelings. We just move on with life. I say there was so many things happening at that moment in the country that we were trying to curtail the crime pattern, the crime trend that is happening. So my focus shifted to that of lowering crimes in Seychelles. So not standing in a corner crying, say, you are not being involved in a small group. No.
But
there are so many things that is happening. So I changed my focus to focusing.
It's not a matter of you crying. Now it looks like you were scared. You're not crying, but you are scared because you cannot go to your superior and tell them what is wrong. Why don't you trust me doing that specific job? Or for me to have knowledge of what the officers are doing.
Like I've stated before, Commissioner, it is better that you leave it this way. It is better that you leave it this way.
I really can't understand how.
Maybe today we are sitting here.
People of that position and assign duties, and you relinquish that because you don't want to talk about the fact that somebody else is undermining you.
I had asked you a question earlier, follow-up, and I said, is it that you were afraid of being victimized?
Yes.
Your answer was yes.
Yes.
And I think
I would state specific cases that happen.
And you said you can do that off camera.
Yes.
So the reason why, so maybe there's another way of answering his question. Instead of saying it's better to just leave it that way.
Protecting my bread and butter. Like.
Yeah, it's better. It's probably better to say, because what if I take how you answered my question?
Yeah.
Are you trying to answer the question in the same way to him, that you decided to leave it like that because of fear of being
repercussions of being victimized? Yeah.
Okay. So when you answer that way, it's a bit clearer. That if you say it's better to leave it that way, because you can sometimes say, I'm leaving it that way because I don't care, or I'm leaving it that way because there are better things to worry about.
No. But repercussions of being victimized.
Okay. Back to you before, because he wants to.
Superintendent, I've just got this question. It's going through my mind. You've got so many friends in Seychelles, haven't you?
For sure.
Okay. Now, what if tomorrow you heard that one of your good friends was being targeted by this team, and you yourself, you knew that your friend was not responsible for what they were imposing on him? What would you have done?
This is a very trick question, Mr. Theo. It's a very trick question. It's better you cross that bridge when you reach that bridge. I cannot state anything more than that. But it's a very trick question.
No, because you were protecting your position, your job. This one we understand. Yeah? But now your good friend, how could he protect himself? And you know he was not guilty of anything.
The law provides protection for him.
Huh?
He get a counsel, get a lawyer, and bring his case forward, and he'll be defended. There are so many that has happened.
Sorry?
There are so many which has happened. In fact, in regards to that Stephen Modo.
So are you telling us that there are so many of those cases that has happened by this group of people?
They have done some good job, I can say.
Huh?
They have done a good job.
Yes, and they have done some bad job.
I don't know. I can't say that. The court has decided. The case was brought before court, and the court has decided upon it.
Well, I know, but we are asking you as an expert in gathering information and gathering, what's it called, intelligence, okay? You might have gathered positive intelligence whereby those guys are imposing negative intelligence on those people. That's you.
I cannot comment on that basis. I cannot comment.
Okay.
I'm trying to think about what you said about victimization. Is there a body, an authority, a place where you can report as a police officer if you are facing victimization because you are insisting on doing your work professionally?
There are a few of them. There are a few.
Yeah, which
We
one?
have ombudsman, we have the Human Rights Commission, we have the one, what's the name of it, where you have grievance at work. What do we call it?
You have given us a few. So
Yeah.
did you use any of this?
No.
Why did you not use any of this?
All of these are state entities and governed by the state, funded by the state, budgeted by the state.
So what?
The state controls everything.
So it was your view that you were not going to get justice.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So what, maybe as we continue with the testimony, I just want to encourage you to answer in full, right?
Yes.
It will make the hearing move faster
Yes, yes.
because we don't want to assume what you are saying. So, for example, when you say it's funded by the state
Governed by the state.
controls them, it doesn't quite answer what I am looking for, so that I have to probe you further. You see, so to avoid that, try not to speak in riddles. No quiz, no. Just say what you want to say
Yes.
as it is. So if the answer is I didn't go to any of these bodies because I perceived that they were captured
Yes.
by the same people that I was going to reach.
Definitely it is.
So that's what we expect you to say, not for me to say, then you say definitely.
But when I say something that governed by state, funded by state, that means the state controls all the bodies. So if you go and report it that such a thing is happening,
I don't want us to engage in a debate on that because we are already running behind time. But it is not the view of the Commission that
yes,
just because something is funded by the state, it is therefore controlled by the state. Right? There has got to be more evidence. There's got to be something that you saw that made you say, look, I can't go and report there because they are not independent. But just because they are funded by the state does not necessarily mean that automatically they are not independent.
I will give ample evidence before the Commission before I leave here
Okay.
to testify what I'm saying here.
Do you mean now? Or?
No, not now.
Okay.
Just make a note.
So make a note about that, the evidence on why he thinks that all those other institutions, which would ordinarily have provided him and others recourse, were essentially not in a position to hear his case impartially. Okay, back to you.
Okay. Earlier on you said that they got done some good jobs, that other unit. But don't you think the fact that you do not know, they are not accountable to you, that can be open to abuse?
When Mr. Commissioner, when you say abuse of power,
Yeah, abuse of power. Sometimes maybe evidence can be fabricated. I'll tell you honestly. I've dealt with a lot of these cases.
yeah.
1 minute. Some of them have been let off completely. Okay. Sometimes I find that even the officers who come in are not telling the truth or they don't know anything about the incident. And a lot of these cases, the AG, at some point in time, had to withdraw the
I've said
case
before
against
this
the
commission.
no, you said they did some good jobs.
The good job,
but there are some bad jobs.
I've said some of the cases before court has been has come out.
No,
Yeah.
I think you said the court spoke on that.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
didn't say what you are saying now. So,
Yeah, exactly.
so it's that point that I was making, that try to answer
Directly.
not in riddles. Yeah, answer directly so that the commissioners understand clearly what you are saying.
Yeah.
So you will agree with me that there could be abuse. by maybe some people are targeted, and
Yeah, because some of the cases have been withdrawn, either withdrawn by Attorney General's office or quashed out by the court, thrown out by court saying there's not ample evidence. So, case set aside.
exactly.
Yeah.
I've done some of those.
Yes, I know, Mr. Vito. I know, Commissioner.
Yeah. Okay. And you say you report to Mr. Posée.
Yes, he was my immediate line of command.
Yeah. Actually, I have a lot of respect for Mr. Posée. Okay. I know he's a professional. He's a great forensic expert.
Yes.
Yeah. But you couldn't go to Mr. Posée. I feel that Mr. Posée is approachable. You couldn't go to Mr. Posée and ask Mr. Posée anything about this other CID unit that is, and what work they are doing. Why is they not reporting to you?
No,
Why not?
I chose not to. I myself chose not to. After several events that has occurred, so I chose not to go.
What are these several events that occurred?
I will say before the commission of crime, due to put the sensitivity behind it, I will say it of crime.
Okay. The incident of at the prison that happened on the 5th and the 6th of December, at any point in time were you informed of that incident?
Yes, in fact, it was DCP, CSP Posée, who informed me that we need to initiate investigation into that prison riot. So the incident happened for 2 days. It was on the 5th and the 6th. And on the 7th, I make a few calls so that to get the necessary people together. Where in my office, I have the CP George was there. Mr. Ivan came. Other 3 officers, he wear spectacles, I won't recall his name. He was there also from prison. There was ACP Witz. There was Inspector Jean Vol, because I appointed him as IO. There was SP Cat, who's now CSP Cat, was also there for forensics and for SSCRB. He was also there, and there was a Sergeant Samia, who was there at my office on the Sunday for us to do a briefing on the matter before we proceed with further investigations.
Okay. But whilst the incident was going on, were there any phone calls you received, or are you aware of any phone calls that were made in respect of that incident?
To me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was called, yes.
Okay. By whom?
By CSP Posée.
When it was happening?
Yes, on the Friday.
Okay. And that call, what did he tell you? He told you, okay, there's this incident.
Yes, there was an incident at Montagne Posée that we need boots on ground at Montagne Posée.
Okay. So, therefore, he asked for you to send officers.
Yes.
And you did send officers?
Yes, there was officers sent there.
Okay. So you were the one who sent the police officers who went to Montagne Posée. You were the one who sent
CID. I'm responsible for CID.
Okay.
Not all police force.
Okay. You sent CID there.
CID, yes, only CID.
Okay. And what was going to be their role there?
First and foremost, they have to take note of all the incidents that is occurring, like officers being injured. There was officers injured. There were 2 or 3 police officers injured. There was prison
There were 2 officers injured.
Sorry?
There were 2.
2. I know one.
That's the evidence we have from
Yes. Maport and Marie. There was prison officers also have been injured, so they were sent there to take note, see if they can get statement or record anything that is occurring. Like I know there was prisoners also who has been injured, to take note who are the prisoners who has been inmates who has been injured, so that we start preparing documents for them.
Okay. And did they, when they were there, did they give you a briefing, or somebody called you?
No.
And nobody informed you
No,
what
no,
was happening?
No.
Not until you were asked to send officers on?
On the 6th at night, so we are preparing on the 7th. So we met on the 7th to prepare to have a team sent there for the investigations.
Nobody ever told you that many of the prisoners had been injured on that day?
It was after the briefing that I was made aware.
Okay. And that briefing, who was leading that briefing?
I was the one leading that briefing.
Okay. And what transpired in that briefing?
It was made aware that there was this riot, and the place is chaotic. We don't have like I said before, we don't have a scene because they have cleaned, because on the 6th it was mainly cleaning. They had cleaned prison because it was out of electricity. There was a list of officers who has been involved, and inmates who has been injured, those who has been hospitalized. So everything was put on the table. And then when I gave directions to Inspector General saying that we need to understand what happened, not only on that day, but before that, then it transpired that, yes, Stephen Mother was kept in isolation cells. That when I was made aware of Stephen Mother was kept in isolation cells, that being the uproar of inmates there in the main prison.
Okay. Okay. And even at that briefing, they told you that the place has been cleaned. You didn't tell them, oh, you should not have cleaned the place because we need forensics.
Yes. Commissioner Vidot, not only on that day, but after that, we try to do walkthrough. There's a process that we do. We call it walkthrough. When we go to reestablish reenacted what had happened, you cannot do it.
Because it had been washed.
Not only washed, but the guards do not have control on the inmates. And it was a security aspect not to send officers inside the prison.
Officer Julien, that was by the 6th, the prisoners had been taken out.
But taken out and brought back in, because there was no place for them to go.
They were taken out, and then the place was cleaned.
282 inmates.
I know what happened. You don't have to remind me.
But like I said, they were not taken out like the prison was kept alone for us, the police, to process and everything. They were put out, place clean, and they were sent back inside.
But the fact that they were all taken out, you had sent officer of the CID there to investigate, and that was the time where they could have gone in when the place was still intact and find out and at least gather evidence.
It would have been, yeah.
In fact, I've got a follow-up question on that.
Okay.
Earlier on, I was asking you questions about the procedure that you or the protocol that you follow when someone has been killed.
Yes.
So one person was killed inside prison. Or
in that cases, on the 4th, 5th and 6th?
Yeah, that's what he's asking you about.
Yes.
So, and then that would be Mr. Jerry Machot.
Mr. Machot, yes.
Right. So when he was killed, were any of your officers called to come in and do what you are supposed to do?
No, but I did not receive any call from the 5th.
So you didn't?
Yes.
But was any of your officers called?
I won't know, Commissioner.
But if they were called, you would know?
But there were senior officers there on sites taking control of the situations.
We are going to get there.
Yeah.
We are still talking about you, who is outside. So you were not... When I say you...
I mean, you mean my officers also?
Yes.
I have no knowledge of it.
So that would be an difficult answer for us to accept. That's why we asked you initially. So when we asked you, what is your role? What is your job? We are trying to establish exactly what we should expect from you. So if you are the person overally in charge of the CID department, then we do expect that the normal way of doing things is that even if the call does not come to you and it goes to one of your officers, you will eventually get to know whether the CID was called.
Yes, definitely.
Right. So my question then is, was the CID called to the scene when Mr.
There were CID there.
I'm not yet
On the
going
day
there.
of the incident, there was CID there, deployed there.
Okay. So there was CID there.
Yes.
Right. What did they do?
Like I told before, as I said before, they was there to take notes orders because everything was chaotic. They were there to take notes of the person injured during the incident and to have proper names and ensure that medical forms were dispatched and everything like that.
I'm still worried. I'm still concerned about the crime scene, securing the crime scene, which is the question he was asking. So you are saying there were CIDs there, right?
Yes.
So in other words, when you say there are CIDs there, you are saying there was no need to call CID when CID was already there.
Because yes, they have been deployed, yes.
I didn't want to say that. I wanted you to say it yourself. So you
I said I told you.
Okay, so the CID are there, which means this person is being killed when they are on the scene, so they would have known that there is a person who has been killed.
Mr. Commissioner, like I said, for you to declare somebody has been killed or dead, it must be certified by the.
So that's what I'm asking
so
you.
if they have removed the body, it must be.
Sorry, Superintendent. So maybe just wait for the question. So my question is, the CID officers who were on the scene, did they engage in the protocol that you outlined for us earlier on? Or alternatively, what did they do?
I've said to the Commission that their presence on that date, on the 5th and the 6th, was to acquire details of persons who have been injured, anybody who has been involved in that riot incident. They cannot get access inside the prison due to...
No, we're talking about the day when this person was killed. We're not talking about the post.
I'm telling you. There was a post there. They were at the post there taking informations regarding the incident of riot and person
I don't
injured.
think we're understanding each other, do you?
I'm understanding him.
help.
I am understanding him, which is something he's saying now, which no other witness has ever told us that, is that officers were there taking notes of what happened,
Yes.
Registering inmates with injuries and all that.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a bit suspect about that because nobody ever gave evidence to that effect. But that's what you're saying. That's what your officer would have been reporting to you because you don't know.
I know they were doing that.
No. That is what your officers would have reported to you because you were not there.
No, I was not there. No.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was not there.
So they took... So when Mr. Jerry Machot looked like he had been killed, did they call in the medical doctor to come and examine?
I don't know what process they do. If they have brought the body downstairs for him to be examined, I don't know.
Did they call the medical? You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. Did they secure the crime scene?
This was not done.
Okay. So the question is why was that not done?
From my top of my mind, I say because what I was made aware is that place was chaotic. Secondly, there was no proper lighting in the prison. Due to the fires, they have disconnected electricity with the prison. And
okay, so let's test the. Okay, sorry.
But officer, that is not an excuse, because officers of the CID they can go on a crime scene where there's no light. They have a torch. They need to be equipped.
But
No. Wait. They need to be equipped for any situation. You cannot just tell them to go on a scene and not equipping them with the necessary tools. So they must have been equipped. So the fact that there was no light is not an excuse. And one more thing, you had Mr. Posée there. Mr. Posée is
he
qualified.
Was there on the scene, yeah.
Pardon?
He was there on
Yeah,
scene.
he's a qualified forensic expert.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he would testify before. If he's someone...
That
like
is
me,
information that should have been relayed to him.
he would testify to the commission why the scene was not cordoned off or secured for preservation of evidence.
Yeah, we certainly will consider asking him those questions. But for now, we are asking you, as the superintendent, who received a report from your officers. So we want to know what they told you, right? So you said it was dark, and I think Commissioner Vidote has dealt with that aspect.
Yeah.
But there was one more thing that I want you to comment on, which is that you are saying it was chaotic. You are saying they said it was chaotic.
It was chaotic, yeah.
And therefore, that's why they didn't protect the crime scene.
From scene.
But I want us to test that logic, because I'm assuming that if you are their superior, you would also test that logic the same way as we are doing here, which is to say, okay, but at some point, all the prisoners were removed.
They were brought down, yes.
They were brought down. And that's an opportunity to then secure the crime scene. But what is it that happened? What happened is that the same officers with other reinforcements, that the evidence we get, ordered that the prison be cleaned, squeaky clean. Which means that your officers first let the crime scene be contaminated. But more than that, they also participated in cleaning or ordering that the place be cleaned.
My officers did not participate in the cleaning aspect.
So they didn't.
They did not participate in the cleaning, no.
They left.
They was there, but they would not
So they
participate.
left the scene be cleaned. Remember, I asked you a question earlier. What do you do as a police officer if you see that a crime has been committed here, and then you see people trying to clean the place? You said your duty as a police officer is to stop that.
Stop, yeah,
and say, no, you cannot do that.
Yes.
Right? They didn't do that. So when they came to you and said, no, the crime scene could not be preserved because it was chaotic, first, that does not make sense. Because if you test it the way we are doing right now, you will see that clearly doesn't make sense, because you moved the prisoners out.
For how? It was not for long, Mr. Commissioner.
But if you move them out, you can keep them out for as long as it is necessary to preserve the crime scene.
Definitely it is.
Yeah, so that didn't happen.
No.
So therefore, it's not a valid excuse that the crime scene could not be preserved because it was chaotic. Secondly, the CID officers on duty left the crime scene being cleaned and contaminated, which was a failure on their obligation. And I wonder why you didn't push back and test the logic in their excuse that it was chaotic, we couldn't do anything.
That's why I've said we try to reconstruct the scene by doing the walkthrough together with witnesses and our SSCRB counterparts. Again, it was to no avail. We cannot do that.
Yeah, but reconstructing the scene is something separate. Right. I'm talking
because
about
because on the date Commissioner. Because on the date itself, when you have the scene there was no scene for us to work with.
Yeah.
So we have to try to do something to get evidence at end.
Yeah. So that is a separate issue.
Yes.
We're talking about accountability for the contamination of evidence in the first place. That's what we are talking about. That, do we agree that there was a failure in discharging duties properly there because the only way we would accept, remember when I said earlier on, when we said, are there exceptions?
Yes, exceptions, sir.
You said, no, there are no exceptions.
I say yes, there are exceptions. In
No, you
case
said
they're
this
li-
is a strict requirement that you must ensure that the crime scene is preserved. But of course, there might be instances. Then we talked about, okay, if guns are being fired, or if there's fire.
It's fire, yeah. I say
Then you said if there's fire, you can
preserve that, yeah.
you can
Remove that body.
remove the body.
Take
In which
notes.
case you are preserving the crime
Preserve,
scene.
yes.
Right. In this case, were there guns being fired?
No,
No. Was there any fire?
already
No.
extinguished.
Was there an earthquake?
No.
No. Right. So there is no excuse. Unless there's something we don't know, right?
No, maybe.
But so far it doesn't look like there's any excuse.
I was not there, so I won't.
Okay, Superintendent, I just want maybe to understand this correctly. Were you at the scene at Montagne?
Yeah, no, I did not go.
You were not at the scene at
No.
Montagne. And the person responsible for your department was a person above you. That was Mr. Posée.
Yes.
He was there.
He was there, yes.
Okay. Now, did you ask Mr. Posée why he did not preserve the scene? You were not there, so you could not preserve the scene.
I did not ask him. No.
Did you ask him why he did not allow the scene to be preserved?
No, I did not ask him.
So, now, who do you think failed in preserving the scene now?
All police officers that were on the scene on that day.
Sorry?
All police officers that were on the scene on that day. All police officers,
Okay.
because we all have been trained to preserve scenes. So all police officers,
So all of them.
yeah.
Okay. So this I think I'm okay with this. Now, on the night of this incident at Montagne, on the 5th, yeah?
On the 5th, yeah.
Was there any member of this other CID unit, the
Special
CID
team?
unit that you talked about?
No.
Was
No.
there any one of them at Montagne?
No, none of them, no.
So none of them were there.
No.
Okay. Okay. Now, one thing that I just wanted to clarify. I think you heard and we heard and everybody heard that military officers came here and said that the operation at Montagne Posée was a police operation.
Yes, indeed.
You heard about this, yeah?
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Okay, it was a police operation, and so it was officers from the police that was leading the operation.
Leading, yeah.
Okay. Now, there is one thing in the police force which we call the level of command.
Command, yeah.
Yeah, is there something which is called the level of command?
Definitely there is, yeah.
There is, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be able to talk a little bit to us what is the level of command in
The police, huh?
the police? Yes.
Okay, level of command, because like if there's a national activities, there'll be operational plan drafted, approved by Commissioner of Police, and on that operational plan it will stipulate whose officer is responsible to whom, who's the overall commanding officer, who's the one who's going to remove the sides and everything. This is in the normal police operations. But in separate cases, like there's a disaster or an incident like Montagne Posée has happened, there are command also on that basis.
Okay.
Like we have been mentioned here, DCP Songoa and the other CPs was there also. They are considered as the silver command.
They are what?
Silver command.
Silver command.
Yeah, silver command.
Okay.
They are the command. Anything that is
Have we got a bronze command?
bronze command is the boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground
Yeah,
are
like-
the bronze command.
Yeah, the officers that are doing the operations.
Silver command, it would be Mr. Songoa and the other high officers.
In the administration, yeah. That was based at the administration's office.
In the unit, what do you call
overseeing
this
the
unit?
operations.
There's a name you give to this unit where the operations unit, yeah?
Yeah,
Operation room.
Operation room, yeah.
Okay. So this is the silver unit.
Yeah, silver unit, yeah.
And then?
There's a bronze unit with a boots on the ground.
Yes.
And there's a gold command.
Gold command.
Yeah, gold command, yeah.
Okay, who is the gold command?
The gold command, there are the commissioner of police there.
Okay.
If the military is participating, there'll be a CDF.
Okay.
And there'll be the head of states.
Okay, those three individuals falls in the gold command.
Gold command, yes.
Okay. Now, would the bronze and the silver command still carry on with operations if they are not given orders from the gold command?
It all depends. It all depends on the level of the silver command. But silver command won't, how can I say that? Won't affect like major operations if they have not cascade informations up to gold command and receive feedback from gold command what to do.
So you think in this operation at Montagne Posée,
DCP Songwa must have talked to Compol about it.
okay. So
And Compol must have briefed him on the way forward.
So now we say that the Commissioner of Police takes full responsibility of the operation. I'm correct now?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So,
Because it was a police-led operations.
yeah. Okay, so
help maybe particularly myself to understand. This operation was taking place at the prison.
Yes.
So, what would be the role of the Commissioner of Prisons?
Once, because as per the law, once she has, the CP has requests, she has a request from commissioners' assistance. Everything is the assistance subsided to the police to take control back to the prison and to hand over back to prison safe to her to ensure that the prison runs smoothly.
So, during that operation, the prison authorities are not in charge. Is that what you are saying? I'm not saying they not have a role.
They have their duties.
Yeah, they have their duties. I'm talking about.
They have not been trained to deal with riots.
I think now you're giving me reasons. I am simply asking whether you are confirming that the prison authorities are not overall in charge of that operation.
But it was a police-led operation. That's what I'm saying. It was a police-led operation.
So the police are in charge.
Yes.
The police commissioner is in charge of.
In charge, yes.
So the police commissioner is the one in charge of what happened at Montagne Posée.
They must be. The buck stop with him.
So the Commissioner of Prison is just put aside in that.
Not put aside, but they are.
She doesn't have control over. In that
They are communicated together too.
No, it's not about communication.
Yeah.
It's about who has control over the prison.
But during a riot, it is the police who take control of it.
But you do realize when somebody is committed to prison, there's a warrant of committal.
It is addressed to the CP.
It's addressed to the CP, and she has control over the prisoners, and she has to maintain the security of the prisoners.
But during a riot, this is something else.
No,
they are not equipped. They are not equipped. They are not trained to deal with riot.
That's what she gets from when there is a warrant of committal. This is what it is.
So these are loopholes in the aspect. Prison wardens are not trained in the aspect of rioting.
Before we say loopholes, which law? Because you say it by law, it's a police-led operation. Which law says that?
Child checked in the Prison Act, maybe. It is there in the Prison Act, maybe.
Because I think the Prison Act, I mean, we can still go back there and search. It says the authority
remains with the.
Yeah, it remains with the prison's authority. So that's why when you were talking about this gold command and the silver command, and I was wondering whether we are still talking about a civilian operation or we are talking of a military operation. Because part of the challenge we are dealing with here is allegations of taking over, unlawfully taking over the prison.
But during a riot, it is we cannot subside say the police was not. So the police take control because the police-led operations. The police was spearheading the operations to take back the prison. So it is the police.
Yeah, I think what you are describing, we're not challenging that may not have happened. But the question is, was that lawful or not?
Definitely it is lawful.
On which law? Because if we say it was lawful, definitely, there has to be a law that authorizes us to do that, right?
I think that the penal code, there are issues of rioters, of people who confront with riots, and the penal code, you have things like that.
But Superintendent, I think I've brought it forward before with other witnesses. There was a riot that took place in 2016,
yeah.
in the prisons, and obviously there was one person that passed away with a ricochet bullet that killed him.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Banan. And obviously there was an inquest
Done.
that was made by 3 judges in the Supreme Court of Seychelles. And there were findings of what really were the shortcomings and everything. And there were recommendations written with regards to the way forward.
Yes.
Okay. Now this report came into being in 2018.
Yes.
And the prison department, they received a copy of this. Yeah. And it stated clearly that to prevent such incident of what happened in 2016, it was advisable that no police officers, army were supposed, do not approach the prison in such circumstances, yeah, because of irritation towards the inmates. And it was further recommended that the prisons should train and equip a group of prison officers, especially to deal with such circumstances if it ever happened again.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And obviously, when we listen to what we've listened, even you and me, we can come to a conclusion that this was never done.
None. No SOPs, nothing never done from that date until today.
Okay? So if it was never done, then it was a failure on the prison department to comply with the recommendations that was put forward to them. Yeah? And the introduction of forces carrying weapons into the prison was such that it would happen. Are we in agreement?
Yes, definitely.
And this is wrong.
This is wrong, definitely.
And you say this was a police-led operation.
Yes.
But in the circumstances that that is the situation, but where there's been evidence in that respect, where the military comes in and say, we are in charge now, we'll hand over the prison after we've done whatever they had to do. Now, who's in charge?
I must not make a word for that one. The army take control from the police saying that they are in charge now.
Because that is some of the witnesses who came here, that's what they told us, the army saying that they are in charge.
I'm not aware, Commissioner. I'm not aware of this one.
Superintendent, we even had people that sat there and said that on the night that the operation was taking place, each unit were giving their own orders to their own people.
I've heard about it. But
You've heard about this?
yes.
So it means that it was not a police-led operation.
See,
And it was not...
see from the CCTV footage extracted from the prison.
Sorry?
See from the video that were extracted. I think
Yes.
you must have copies of the videos that were extracted.
Yes. Yeah, you would see a bunch of prison officers and guards and whatever it is going in, one after the other. But what was being said, you can't hear on this CCTV, because True would have been giving their orders to their people. Mr. Dakambra would have been giving orders to his people. That's the how do you call it?
Counterterrorism.
Counter-terrorism people. The military would have been giving orders to their own people. The what's it called? The prison would have been giving orders to their own people. So it was not a prison. It was not a police-led operation.
But we are equipped to deal with this situation.
Hmm?
We are equipped. Police are equipped to deal
I think
with riots.
what I would like us to do is to discuss the same question, right?
Yes.
And if we agree on a point, let's move on.
Yes.
Right? So he is saying, you said this was a police-led
Police-led,
operation,
yes.
right? So that invited his intervention, following up
Yes,
on,
yes.
on Commissioner Bidot's intervention. But how can you say this was a police-led operation in light of some evidence that we have that some people say the military took over. Some say no, but each unit had its own leader.
Mr. Commissioner,
So just respond to
yes,
that.
yes.
then
If they have said it and they were on scene, it is a fact. But for a fact, I know this was a police-led operations to secure the prison and to get hold of control in the prison. If they have said it that each was given
when
a
you say for a fact you know that this was a police-led operation, why do you say that?
based on the evidence gathered on file.
Okay. So your investigation.
Yes, based
was
on the
that
investigation, yes.
The police were in charge.
Yes. There were names that were mentioned before here. The two officers that were leading the operations.
Okay. Back to you. Oh.
Anyway, this information was gathered from the police, from the police, or do you have other witnesses who said that it was such?
Witnesses collected.
Pardon?
From the riot case, 307 statements.
No. Is that evidence you got directly from the police, not from other source like the inmates or the guards?
Like I said to the commissioner, 307 statements recorded, not only from police but to inmates, to prison guard,
on that particular
to military.
I'm talking about that particular aspect of your testimony regarding who was in charge. You say that is part of the evidence that you gathered.
Yes.
And I'm asking on that aspect only. Did you get evidence from the police solely, or was it evidence that you gathered from inmates? Or
I will say it again. Statement collected from not only the police, but also from prison warden, from inmates.
okay, let's move on.
Yeah, but how would the inmates know that it was a police-led operation?
Because they were there on the scene.
The inmates?
They were there.
They knew it was a police-led operation?
They saw who was trying to come in the prison.
Yeah, but there were military as well.
Not only did they see the police coming in,
Yeah.
they saw the military and...
For a fact, they were there. They were there.
Pardon?
For a fact, they were.
The military was there,
yeah.
and the police were there, and they all went rogue.
I cannot comment on that one.
Because if it was a police-led operation, yeah, there should have been somebody giving orders, a police officer giving orders. But what we found out is that military personnel inside the prison were firing bullets. Did they get orders from the police officers?
No,
That's
definitely
it.
not.
That's it. So it was not a police-led operation?
But trying to get inside the prison was, at first, it was police from our units
Yes.
until the military arrived.
And then it became
I don't.
anybody could be leading the operation after the military came.
It was a police-led
No,
operation.
you said initially when they were trying to get inside, it was the police.
Yeah.
Okay, I give you that. But then the military came, and everybody was and you know, like you said, that the military came in with guns, and they were shooting around.
I've not said that they come with guns, but I don't. They were armed.
Yeah, they were armed. They were
Yes.
shooting.
Yes, definitely.
So was that order? Did that order come from the police to
No,
say,
definitely
okay, you have to shoot?
Definitely not. We have statement on file from the officers there saying that all live weapons were supposed to be left out of prison. Only non-lethal was supposed to be taken inside.
So that is the order that the police gave.
Yeah.
But if the military came in with
This is.
Are you aware that there is an allegation that says one of the senior police officers
Mhm.
suggested that they must not storm into the prison. They must
I've heard about it.
wait
Commissioner.
until it
I've heard about it.
refuses.
Commissioner.
And then Colonel said no.
You use other aspect like water cannon. But I've heard him testify.
So where does that leave where does that leave you with your view that this was a police-led operation?
But I know the fact that police was there to take control of the prison.
I think let's move on.
did you receive any phone calls from anybody else apart from Mr. Boozer?
No. Only him.
Only
On the 9th of the 5th.
Okay. Subsequent to that, regarding the Montagne Posée incident, did you receive any phone calls from
No.
anybody?
No, not at all.
Okay. Were you called by anybody to any meetings or?
No, I did not. Never attended any meeting. Any debriefing, nothing at all.
So the
I was just
debriefing-
made aware by my IO, by Inspector Zanvol, in regards to the aspect of
Okay.
ongoing
So-
investigations.
There was a debriefing, okay, and you had ordered your officers to go to give assistance to the prison,
Yes.
and nobody reported to you as to what happened at the debriefing.
No, I was there at the debriefing. On the main briefing on the 7th, on the Sunday 7th,
Okay,
I
there
was
was one on 7th.
spearheading. I was spearheading
Okay.
the briefing.
You were spearheading it.
Yeah.
And even if you were not present, you were the one spearheading the meeting.
Because I was instructed by Mr. Bouza to have IO sent to prison. So I need to put a team together to send them to prison to start investigations.
Okay. And so apart from that, you don't know anything about that operation, apart from what you've already deponed on.
No. I just saw reports coming in or statements they came, summary of every statement, because I told them to have summary of all the statements for us to know which cases are we dealing with. Until when we do the postmortem, it was said that it was declared homicide, and we registered 2 cases of murder against.
The commissioner never talked to you about the operation?
No.
Okay.
Superintendent, I've just got one thing that maybe you and me we can agree on. Yeah? You said that the order given to all the forces entering the prison not to carry live
rounds.
weapons.
Oh.
Yes? But obviously there were live weapons in there.
If Mr. Machot was killed by a bullet, definitely. If Mr. Machot was killed by a bullet, there must be.
So there was, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Now the second thing you said that they were given strict instructions to go inside the prison setting with non-lethal
With only non-lethal, yeah.
non-lethal weapons. Now, would you agree with me in such a setting? Have you been in the prison? Have you been?
Never.
You've never been in the prison. So the prison is, the corridor is half of this, and the cells are tiny little cells. Yeah. Would you agree with me that carrying the so-called non-lethal weapons inside such a setting is as equally lethal as the lethal weapon itself?
I cannot comment on that because I don't have the blueprint. I don't have you have to measure the space you have, the length you have to operate. I cannot comment.
It's small. It's tiny.
You're saying it's small, but I cannot comment on it.
Huh?
But even if the space is small, you go with non-lethal weapons, and somebody. I mean, if the person with the lethal weapon comes close to another person, let's say an inmate, and fires, that could turn lethal.
Like I told you, it depends on the.
Yeah, I'm telling you that if that is the case,
yes, it can be. Yeah, it can be lethal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends where you are hitting that person. Also, it can be fatal. Yeah.
So that was not a very sound decision because obviously you are going inside a prison, and there are so many people, and you have a non-lethal that can turn lethal. That was not a sound decision.
Depending where you discharge it, definitely.
Okay. Okay, I've got two questions. One question is, why did what is his actual title now?
He's the DCP for Specialized Services.
DCP. Why did DCP Bousin not conduct the briefing 3 days later or 2 days later, as you said, after the operation, and instead ask you to do the briefing when you were not there, you don't know what happened, you didn't see anything, and you don't know nothing?
No, that's why
he was there.
Yes.
Why did he not carry out the briefing?
I received instructions and I act upon it, and that's why I bring the other partners that CP was there with her team, and also the other officers are going to be involved in the investigation, so they was present for us to do the briefing.
Okay, so...
And Songkwa was there as well?
Sorry?
Songkwa.
No, only ACP Woods was there. The most senior was ACP.
I might say, Superintendent, that those people that were present in this meeting that you were briefing or debriefing, briefing, they gave you whatever jargon that they wanted.
No.
And you took it.
It was at the initial stage of investigations, not jargons. Initial stage for us to establish.
Yeah, they could tell you any story.
First, because we investigate, we don't take any rubbish from anybody. We investigate on matters at hand. So this is what we were there to get informations for us to start investigations.
Okay. Now, my last question, Superintendent. Had you been the officer responsible for this operation on that night at Montagne Posée prison? Yes? How would you have dealt with the situation? Give us your views. You were a well-trained police officer with a lot of knowledge, 22 years with this. You've gone through different types of operations. As I'm saying, well-trained. How would you have dealt with the situation? In your words, how would you have done it? And if you are in agreement that the way this operation was carried out, was it correct?
In fact, no. It was not.
It was not
done properly.
It was not done properly. How would you have done? Just share a bit. How do you think it should have been done?
You know, Commissioner, sometimes when you have a hammer in your hand, everything that you see is a nail. So I might be operating differently, but it depends on what resources you have available. On what resources you have available in your hand. So the incident that occurred in 2016 occurred again in 2024. That means that no one take care of the recommendations from previous commissioners in regards to have an SOP in place, to have people trained, to ensure that none of these incidents repeated again. I might be there taking control of the operations, and things might be worse, and I find myself in the dock there. You never know. It depends on the resources you have at hand.
No, but let's take the resources that were there. Yeah, we had Pro-Troop, we had the
counterterrorism.
You have the military. We had the prison officers. We had military officers. Would I say four different forces?
Forces, yeah.
Okay. Now, 4 different forces. We've got 1 prison.
Yes.
How would you have deployed your 4 different forces in order to have control of them?
Definitely the military won't step in the prison.
Sorry?
The military officers won't put their foot in the prison.
Okay, that's number one. What would you do?
They will take the outer aspect of securing the premises to avoid prisoners of escaping from prison.
Okay.
And let the police and the prison warden lead the operations.
Okay.
They should have not go inside the prison in the first place.
They should not have gone inside
No.
the prison. So are you suggesting what was said here to us, that we could wait the next day and deal with the situation when things had calmed down?
It depends on the matter at hand at that point. I've heard my colleagues say that they have said to the officers there, wait until the next day for us to operate. But they were putting fires in the prison. They were setting the prison alight. Not only the 10, 15, 18 inmates that we have found responsible for riots, there were 282 inmates.
Sorry, I think we just need to avoid veering into too much speculation.
Yeah.
I think the question was about your opinion in terms of how you would have managed this. I think, is there anything else that you would want him to answer in terms of how he would have managed this? I think he said the military would have been securing the perimeter.
The outer perimeter, yeah.
Is there anything else that you would want?
The police and the police ward and the prison warden should have led the prison to take control back the prison.
Okay. So when you say take control of the prison, okay, would you agree with me that the Pro-Troop people that are trained riot police officers,
yes,
they would enter the prison,
yes,
facilitate the entry to the prison, and then allow the prison guards to remove the inmates, remove them and take them somewhere, and there would not have been any issue. Don't you think it was a possibility?
A possibility, but no one knows, but it is a possibility.
I believe would your first move have been to have negotiation with the prisoners?
This is the first aspect of riots. You have to have a senior officers there, together with CP, or a mandated officer to went down to prison to negotiate with the ringleaders.
So the fact that this never happened, what would be your conclusion? Is it a failure?
A failure, yes. Because the next one, when negotiations were, you have to erect a banner saying that you are declaring this area as a riot under police control. You have steps on it, on the banner saying which use a halal radar saying that force will be used. You have to surrender yourselves and things like that. And this must be done every 2 or 3 minutes, giving them warnings by of executing your operations.
Okay. No. Thank you very much for your testimony. I know that there are a couple of details that you have requested, and
Yes.
we agreed that you can give off camera. So now I'm going to ask the media, the observers, and the security as well, to vacate the room so that we can continue with the testimony.
And switch off also camera. I'm sorry. Switch off also the camera.
All the cameras will be switched off because we just waiting to get